Good afternoon, Evertonians. Welcome to Dockside Live for our away fixture, away at Villa Park to Aston Villa. Two founding members of the Football League, the most played fixture in top flight football English history. This is the 216th time that we have beaten Villa, and it is going to be one very, very difficult trip to Villa Park today because they are flying high and we are looking to bounce back and hopefully get 3 points on the board. I'm joined in the studio today by the one and only Tony Hibbert. We're going to hear from Tony in a second, but probably the most interesting thing you guys want to know straight away. Andy, what is our team news for today? So let me take you through it. We have got, of course, starting in goal, number one, Mr. Jordan Pickford. Everton's number one, England's number one, and just absolutely flying, as always, is Jordan Pickford this season. Starting at right back today, we have got Nathan Patterson. Obviously, still suspended is Michael Keane, so Jake O'Brien is moved back to centre-back for back-to-back games. Partners up alongside captain for the day, Mr. James Tarkowski. And then at left-back, as always, the stalwart at left-back is Vitaly Mykolenko. Starting in midfield next to James Garner, a little bit of a change. We've got Melon Rohl partnering up, the man who has been, in my opinion, one of our players of the season today, or this season, James Garner, absolutely smashing it, looking for another big performance for him. Dwight McNeil is over on the right-hand side, and we'll see very shortly why. I'm sure you're all aware, but Harrison Armstrong back in the 10 spot, very exciting young talent he is. Jack Grealish is back and returning to his old club today. Very excited to see him back in the starting lineup. And after being on the bench in the cup game, Tierno Barry is back leading the line. Tony, Grealish is back.
Yeah.
That is huge.
It's massive for us, yeah. To have a player like him, yeah, is massive for us. We need him.
Yeah. He's back from suspension. He's a man who loves to get booked when he's playing against Villa, but it's not something you actually experience, is it? You played every single game for Everton, so you've never experienced going back and playing against the team that you used to play for.
No, yeah, I never wanted to leave, so yeah, I haven't played any teams like that or had the opportunity to do that, yeah, so no, yeah, I wouldn't know what it's like.
But he'll be up for it, you would assume.
Yeah, I think he's obviously he's been around, he's professional enough, he knows what it means, and I think he's obviously what's good for us. He's bought into the Everton way, he's bought into this team, he knows what it means to us. So I think going back to his boyhood club, it'll mean a lot to him. He'll be really happy to be there, but I think he's professional. I think he knows, he understands. He's played hundreds of games now, so yeah, I don't think it'll make a difference really.
He's a huge creative spark for us. I'm very glad to have him back. We are close to getting Illy back. He's got the AFCON final today, which of course we wish him well. I hope he scores a hat-trick in the first half, and then maybe gets subbed off in the 60th minute because they've already won the cup and he doesn't need to get too tired, and he'll be back for the Leeds game. Huge good luck from everyone here at Everton to Illy, and of course Idrissa Gana Gueye is another huge miss that we've got in midfield, and we've got Eric Boonham. So the team's going through a lot of changes. I feel like we're kind of coming out of the end of it now. We're starting to get players back from injury. We've got little pictures of Branthwaite's back, Dewsbury Hall's back in training. We've got Seamus Coleman's back in training, sorry. Dewsbury Hall's working on his recovery and is hopefully going to be back soon. Positive signs, but a very, very, very difficult game today.
It is. It'll be a tough game. They need a win, to be honest. They need to keep on pushing for the second spot. They need to, obviously, they'll want to do what they can today to keep that second spot theirs. It'll be tough for us. I think everyone knows it will be, in a way of they'll want to dominate, they'll want to keep the ball, they'll want to push us all the way. But I think if we stay in, I think we can counter-attack. I think we've got the players what will understand that, and the work rate from the players. I think they'll know what today's game is about. They'll understand, they'll have a game plan. And we just need to stay in the game as long as possible. But it will be a tough game for us today. They've
been flying this season. They got off to a bit of a shaky start, not being able to... Some crazy stat about in the top 8 leagues, they were the only team that hadn't scored a goal, or something mad like that. When we were like 3 or 4 games in. And when we played them here at Hill Dickinson, we absolutely battered them, to be honest with you. Emi Martinez was their man of the match, and we come away with 0-0. Which is now, in hindsight, with how Villa have kicked on, it's a decent point, but obviously we wanted 3 on that day. Yeah, being at home, you want your points. You need to pick up your points being at home. So there's been a few this season where you should be picking more up at home. We should be, but that's how it is. This is football. It's life. We need to deal with it and roll on to the next one. Are we looking at Villa and saying they're flying high? It's going to be a really tough game. Of course it is. But do we also look at Villa as a team who they've been on a similar sort of trajectory to us, and they've dipped lower and are now peaking a little bit higher. They got relegated from the Prem. They've bounced back. Emery's done a really good job. They've got a really good manager. They've signed a couple of our players as well, to be fair. We're very similar clubs, 2 founding members of the Football League, and that's kind of a team that we want to look to and say, do you know what, we want to do that as well. We want to be fighting to be second. We want to be playing in Europe, and we're going to turn up at Villa Park and give it a game and take 3 points off you. Thanks very much. See you again next season.
Definitely, yeah. I think in a way of, you can see the similarities. You can see the 2 big clubs. We are big clubs, both of us. But for me, as Everton, like obviously, I want to see consistency. I don't really want to see a high and then a low and then a high. I would like to see consistency, and obviously if that's taking its time and that's obviously steady progress, yeah, I think that's probably the best way for us as a club. We all know, it's hard to get you down, but it is a business nowadays. It solely is a business and then a football club. So it's hard to really understand it, but I think seeing consistency and seeing us challenging in the right way, I think for the longevity, I think it's better. I think obviously we can spend all the money we want, but yeah, having the fundamentals and understanding where we are as a club and as players, I think that's the right situation. I think obviously do it as slow as we can, but steady. Yeah,
a man who we can see behind us on the screen now, Mr. David Moyes, is someone who seems to be doing a really good job of taking us down that road, and we can hear from the manager on his thoughts on the team today, right now.
David, back on the road after 3 games at home. What's the feeling going into this game after performances recently?
Well, pleased to be back on the road. We've had good success this season away from home. I think my last game was a win at Nottingham Forest, so hopefully we can follow that up.
You've also got Jack Grealish back available to you as well today. How important is his influence on this game?
Well, he's been hugely influencing in every game we've been involved in. He's done really well for us. He's had a little bit of dips at different times in the season so far, but I think the amount of games he's played, the minutes he's played, he's done really well.
Tieno Barry starts as well. 3 goals in his last 6 Premier League starts now. So what's impressed you most about him recently?
Well, I think it's a boy who's getting used to the Premier League. It isn't easy, especially a centre-forward. He's doing a lot of good things. We need his goals tally to be better. That's what we really want. But at the moment, he's off the ball. He's doing a lot of things for the team, so hopefully he can do that today.
In terms of this challenge then against Aston Villa, of course, the way that they're performing in the Premier League at the moment, they're having a really good season. What kind of threats are you expecting from them today?
Well, I think that you can play teams at different times, in good form or bad form. I think certainly Villa are a side in good form, and we know we're going to have to play well. But, you know, a couple of upsets and shocks yesterday, so why not today?
David, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
The manager there talking about upsets. I didn't want to talk us down too much. I think we can go and give Villa a game, but they are a very, very good team. I've got a couple of stats for you here, Tony. Villa this season have the least points dropped from winning positions in 2, and they've also got the most points gained from losing positions, 18. Wow. So we need to not only go and put on a good performance, we need to be switched on for the entire 90 plus stoppage time minutes.
Yeah, obviously we all know it's a hard place to go, and obviously they're in some form. So it is a tough game for us tonight, but we've showed when we went to Man United. It's them games where you least expect, but yeah, the lads were shifting for us and obviously surprise us and show us what it is all about in the Premier League again. It can happen, and obviously hopefully we can get a break, we can get like a goal up or something. For me, we've just got to stay in the game. I think if we're in the game, we've got a chance. Defensively, I think the lads will know. They'll know that it'll be a hard game today, but I think as a team and as a unit, defensively, they'll know what they're up against and they'll be shifting for us.
Looking at that defence, as a former right-back yourself, are you pleased to see a natural right-back playing at right-back? I know it's enforced, and Moyes does seem to prefer to play O'Brien there when he has the opportunity to, because Keane is back or because Branthwaite's back from injury. It kind of been forced into a change, but it is now a natural right-back. Is that something that we could benefit from on the counter-attack with a little bit more?
Definitely, because obviously I think Patterson will understand the position more than O'Brien, so it gives us a balance. It gives us a nice balance in the back 4. Everyone's in their preferred positions, so they'll know. Patterson knows he needs games, he needs minutes, he needs to get up to match fitness. He put a shift in the last home game here, so he struggled in that way coming obviously to the end of it, and obviously with cramp and stuff, so that probably would have done him good, really, to get them minutes in him. So
not the cramp, but the minutes.
Yeah, the minute. It is, as I'm saying, it does help us in a way of a natural right back, because obviously the understanding of the back 4, position-wise, he will, no disrespect to O'Brien, it's not his favourite position, so Patterson will have an understanding better of attacking as well as defending. So I think as a shape-wise, coming in, I think it's good. I think, yeah, I'd rather have a natural right back there.
He's just trained for that position all of his life, I guess, and he understands how to move with the rest of the back four. He'll hopefully... We've got McNeil in front of him, who's obviously... He likes to cut inside on his left foot, but that then gives Patterson some leeway to go around the outside, whereas Jake O'Brien's not used to doing that, simply because he's a centre-back, and he's a big lad. He's not a tricky winger. Patterson's more used to getting down the line, whipping balls into the box. That's probably going to help Tieno Barry, where I think someone that we can look at is a former player. Calvert-Lewin has just won Player of the Month, and he's been absolutely banging goals in, whereas he kind of struggled at Everton towards the latter stages of his career. Tieno Barry started scoring now, which is class. We heard the manager talk about his scoring 3 goals in the last 6 games. That can also be put down to supply, not necessarily the ability of the striker. And fair play to DCL. He was a good servant of the club. He's gone away to Leeds and he's started scoring goals. But they are all just on that little line, aren't they? From the centre of the goal back to the penalty spot. I don't want to say he's just tapping them in because he's not the good finishers, but that's the area he operates in. But you need that service in order to score them goals.
The players, the forwards do. The forwards need the service. I know we're screaming out for them to get more goals for us, the 2 centre forwards, but like you're saying, we do need service. If the service is not there, then it'll be very hard for them to score goals. So overall, as a team, they need to provide. Obviously, I would like us to cross the ball more. I would like us to obviously get it into the feet a lot more on the edge of the box, but obviously they'll have the ways, they'll have the game plan. It's just in a way of we do need to score a lot more goals. The 2 centre forwards do need to score. They're our main target men. They need to score. But as you said, if they haven't got the service, it's going to be hard for them. Yeah,
especially sitting up in the studio, you can see some of the great runs that Tieno makes. But it's on the other players sometimes to actually find them or to make use of the space that he then creates with them runs. So we've got some players coming back that are definitely going to be able to help that. I'm very jealous of some of the teams that have already got players back from AFCON. Mbeumo scored yesterday for United, and I was like, oh, I wish he was back. But we're getting them back, and we're getting players coming back in from injury as well. We've got Jared Branthwaite and Seamus Coleman. Seamus Coleman's actually on the bench today, which is very, very excited to see. You can see some clips on the screen now of our embedded YouTube show. If you guys want to check it out, you can go and see it on the YouTube channel with all of the sounds, and it's a much longer thing than what we're going to show you. We've just got some clips. But the lad's obviously going to training. You can see Jake O'Brien there walking on. He's going to be playing at centre-back today. But we've got Branthwaite is the phrase in football makes me laugh. Back on grass. You can see Jared there is back on grass. And he's moving all right. It's just going through the usual sort of training bits and bobs. There's nothing too strenuous there. Like, when you're coming back from injury, can you tell us a little bit about your sort of how you would ramp up? Is Jared's going to be playing? We can maybe see whether we can spot him. Is he going to be playing in these small-sided games? Is he just going to be doing a little bit of ball work? It
depends. It depends on what stages he is. Obviously, if he's near it, like obviously joining in, he won't be fully in joining in. There is stages of the process, so the medical staff, and I don't know the stage what he's at, but he'll probably need a couple of weeks with the lads full training before he's anywhere near a game. So I don't know where he is in that stage, but coming back from injuries is not good, and I think it was a hamstring, so I think you've got to be really careful with it. I think the fitness lads will know, he'll know himself where he is, the strength, what he's done. It's obviously getting minutes in him, getting his legs back to training and being around the lads. That's the main thing, but they'll know. They're clever enough, the lads there, that they'll have an understanding of how his level is.
Am I seeing, is that Braden Graham, I think it is? The young lad from the
have been training
unders.
With him,
He's looking lively in training there, to be fair. Just sort of pinged the ball into Grealish.
They're being good. Obviously, the Youth Cup as well. They were playing for the Youth Cup, what I've seen here, and he's a good player, really good player. So it's good that the lads what are there, the young lads, they're good. There's some good lads, and the young. So if we get experience to be up with the first team is massive for them.
That's huge for them. What does that do for a first team players? And we have also got highlights if you guys, this is obviously live across all of Everton's digital platforms for you guys to watch. And our beautiful, slightly Everton biased build-up from me and Tony. Instead of watching it, it's on Sky in the UK, isn't it? But if you guys are watching from around the world, watching your local TV, or listening to our live commentary, which is exclusive for members as well. Me and Tony will be back at half-time on the members exclusive stuff, and we've got them highlights. I think they are also on YouTube of that Youth Cup that Braden Graham featured in. Does it give the more senior players a little bit of a kick up the backside as well, potentially? I was on the show with Stubbsy last week, and he mentioned how we signed Joseph Yobo, And he was aware that we'd signed Joseph Yoho to replace him, basically. And he was like, that's not happening. And it gave him an extra like little kick, and he managed to stay in the team for an extra 2 or 3 years. If you're seeing these young players come into training and start bossing training, you're like, oh my God. And it gives you a bit of a...
Not really the young ones, because you see the young ones coming all a while. And obviously, it's not in a way of they're going to take my place. If a signing comes in, like Stubbsy said, and you know, well, they've bought them for a reason, so it is then, well, you've got to fight for your place. But with the young ones, no, not really. It doesn't. It's just in a way of there's young blood. They're just coming through. They're getting experience. The difference if like Wayne Rooney, the way he was,
going to say,
there's a difference. Wayne, yeah. So yeah, it's like not really, because you can understand, but when people sign,
that gives you a bit of a
you know straight away. Then obviously your positions, obviously there's 2 years fighting for it.
Can you remember what age you were when you first started training with the first team? Can you remember the manager coming and saying, right, you're coming to first team training today?
It was under Walter Smith, so it was always like every other day we'll go to Belfield and there'll be more or less, you'll get told to stay behind, or when we were going to like to Littlewoods or Thornton out the civil service, or like another training ground somewhere else. So you were in and out. It was never always
bouncing between unders
so
and main.
You'd have to wait. We'd always at Belfield. You get changed at Belfield, and then you'd get told then what was going on. But you were in and around the first team for 2 years, 3 years.
Okay, interesting.
So,
is that even before you were on the bench?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then even when you go on the bench, it was like, I don't think I was ever on the bench until I played my first team. It was never ever you were on the bench and then you slowly got weaned. Me personally, I got through in.
Did you get thrown straight into the event?
So it was a bit like strange for me, that sort of thing. But I was in and around the first team for a number of years really, so I was used to the lads.
Sure. What age was that when you made your debut? Just
21.
Okay, and then just like, right, you've had enough. In you go.
Not really. I think they were forced.
Really?
They were forced,
like an injury thing?
I think it was either Richard Goff. I think was struggling at West Ham. I remember we travelled down. We had a reserve game. Well, it was 21's reserve game on the Thursday night, and we played in that. And then straight after the game, as usual, 4 or 5 of us would get told to travel with the first team on a Saturday.
Sure.
So that was just normal. And
just to fill the bench out. Like we had loads in the
not even a bench. Some would make the bench, some wouldn't. I think the odd one of us would make the bench or not, but it was very rarely all of us. We were mostly sitting in the sand. That was
so
it.
You're there just as like an emergency?
Just an emergency.
Oh,
and
wow.
I think in a way of, obviously they knew Richard Goff was probably struggling, and then come the day of the game, walking in as normal into a team meeting, and Archie Knox and Walter approached me and just asked me if I feel all right. And I didn't think in a way of I was starting. He was just asking me if I felt all right from playing the game on the Thursday. I was like, yeah. And he said, do you want to start? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, go on then, why not?
Okay. He said, obviously, yeah, you're starting. And that was just straight it. And I didn't have any time to really think about it or understand it. It was like into the meeting, they had the meeting, and then straight to the ground. It was like, wow. I was just in shock. It was
Never
just
looked
crazy.
back.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
That is cool.
So it's sometimes it happens and you've got to take your chance.
One man who we've brought in and will be looking to try and cement his place in the starting 11 today, he's starting next to James Garner and looking to become his perpetual partner, is Melon Rohl, and we can hear from him now.
Melon, it's back-to-back starts in all competitions for you today. So how much does that consistency help your performances?
I think especially after the injury, it will help me a lot to get back into my rhythm, to get back like full healthy, full of energy, and to play better, yeah.
You're facing an Aston Villa side who are currently having a really good run in the Premier League. So what kind of threats are you expecting from their performances today?
I've been watching them a lot, so we know they will play a lot through the middle. They've quite a good build-up, very good players, and here at the home pitch they're very good, so yeah, we're prepared.
For Everton though, 3 points could put you back into the top half of the table. How much of an incentive is that today?
Yeah, that's what we focus on. The last couple of games we missed out on the points we wanted, so today we full focus on a good game, hopefully a good win to help us get back into where we want to be on the table.
All the best today. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I'm hoping for a big performance from Melon Rohl today. Tony, you always talk about players needing minutes, and I think we really witnessed that in real time with Tim Igbunam.
Yeah.
And the more he played, maybe when he came on off the bench, he was doing fine. And then when he started to start games, sometimes looked a little bit shaky, maybe looked a bit leggy towards the end of the game. And he grew and grew and grew and grew into... The manager spoke about there's still things that he wants him to do better. But when he picked the ball up and drive from central defensive mid, he was starting to look like a really, really dangerous player. And then has unfortunately picked up an injury. I want to see Melon Rohl doing the same thing because he's a big lad. He's 6'4", 6'5". I want to see him start to dominate the midfield, pick the ball up, drive through teams. He's playing a bit deeper than perhaps maybe he would have done or can do. And he's obviously filled in at right back, filled in at right mid. So there's just that Premier League minutes thing, build up his physicality.
It's getting minutes, yeah. Obviously, he's new to the league as well, so he'll need to understand that, how the league is, the pressure it demands from you. So I think it'll take time, but with any player, I don't care how long you've been playing games or not, if you're out for a given number of games, you do need minutes under to get back to speed. That's just normal. But yeah, he's new to the league, so I think it will take a bit of time and just adjust in that way as well.
So another lad who came to the Premier League, another young lad like Melon was obviously for huge money, was Florian Wirtz. And he got off to a very dry spell in terms of goals and assists and stuff like that. He's playing really well for Liverpool now. And he's played basically every game. And Melon's been like bit part in and out of the squad. So this extended run, not that I'm saying he's going to turn into a £150 million signing, which is ridiculous money that Liverpool have spent, but just a good run of games will do him really well and help him set. And his English was unbelievable in that VT, but obviously the Premier League's very, very different.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is. Yeah, number of games. It helps massively.
Does that make you a little bit in awe of Harrison Armstrong? How well he's just slotted into the team and just seems to be completely at ease and calm on the ball. And
I'm not surprised with him. No, I'm not surprised because he's a talented player. He's been around the lads, so the lads who were playing in the Premiership for years, really. So he's training with them every single day. So I'm not surprised that way. That's what I'm saying. When the young lads are with you and they come through, the talent shows with them when they just. It's like it's nothing. It's nothing to them. It's like it's exact same as Wayne. It becomes in a way a normal thing. It doesn't bother them at all. So obviously with Harrison, I think that's the next step. I think it's just take it in the stride and just try and every time he plays and the minutes he gets, he's only going to get better and better. So ideally, I think he's one in a way of we need to keep a hold of. We need to keep this lad here because I think in the long run, I think he will be special. Is that with you saying you were doing it for years? So has he been training with the first team, do you reckon, since he was like 15, 16? Because he's only 18 currently, isn't he? I think he's been training, well, I don't know, but I would think he's been probably training with the first team for the last probably couple of years. Yeah, so that helps massively, being around the first team. It just helps naturally. So yeah, I think in a way of long haul, I think he's one for the future for us. I think he's one of our bright stars. He can be a big player. Yeah, massive. We've got a good spine of players that we're starting to hopefully build the team around. Keane and Tarkowski are older, I'm going to say, don't tell them I said that, centre-backs, but we've got Branthwaite and O'Brien, who are both really, really young. We've got Jimmy Garner, Dewsbury Hall, Harrison Armstrong, we've just picked up Diblin, Tierno Barry's quite young. We're building like a good hub of the team, and Harrison Armstrong can be really, really important. Massive, yeah, massive. I think that the age group of the squad, I think, is good for us. It's good to have a balance, and experience comes in with that. So yeah, I think the age group of our squad, I think it's good. I think we've got a couple of young ranks as well who are in and around there who are looking promising, but obviously they're nowhere near ready yet. But yeah, I think it's good for the age. I think having that age group in the squad is good for us, for energy-wise, I think, yeah. The manager's spoken about wanting to, or looking to potentially send them back to Preston at the end of January, but we are on the 18th now, so it's getting close. There's still, as far as I know, only murmurings of Dewsbury Hall is progressing well. He's doing well. There's no actual, as we've seen, Branthwaite and Coleman back in training. So we might end up having to hold on to him for the rest of the season, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, the way he's been playing. Me personally, I would. I think. So Stubbsy was very much in the get him to play every single game, whereas you would assume when Idrissa and Dewsbury Hall are back, they are the strongest 11 or the starting 11. But yeah, I think you would say that, yeah. But to have him on the bench is a plus for us. It makes us, we are looking light. And I think to have him still here, all right, he's not going to play every game, but I think he can still come on and do a difference. I think he can change a game for us. So I think to have him in our squad, well, I think will help. I think it's a plus for us to not have a player like him. I think we'll look weaker. I think we'll look light on the bench. So, yeah, I think as on the bench, I think it's a plus for us. But how I like to see him at the club, I'm getting minutes more. Sure,
especially when we see the bench from the cup game last week. It was packed with the unders players, the kids basically.
Yeah.
We had a couple of them come on. I think one of them made their debut as well. I know Reece Walsh come on. Was it Eli Campbell?
Yeah.
Come on and made his debut as well. And they did well, to be fair. But some of the other lads are just 17, 18 years old, and you can tell that we do need a bit more experience on that bench. And whilst Harrison is only 18 as well, he has some Premier League experience that he's currently gaining, so it could do us well.
Like obviously the manager will have his plans. They know how it is and what they want to do and stuff like that. But yeah, as a fan and as a player who's looking in and want Everton to do the best and have the best players, he's one of our best players, I would say. Even at a young age, I think he's one of our shining prospects. So to have him at the club, obviously he's not going to play in now, but there will be a time, and obviously there's a time now to play him. So I hate to see him what he's done here now and then we ship him back out. I think confidence-wise, I think that will hurt him. But he'll be playing every week for Preston. So
swings and roundabouts.
It does, yeah, but I would like to probably see him at the club.
We can see live scenes now from Villa Park of the players walking out. So before I hand you over to our commentary team, I'm just going to give you a quick reminder that if you want to carry on watching and listen along to the live commentary, it is available to Everton TV Plus and Forever Blue Plus members. Season ticket holders and premium ticket holders can get involved as well. All of the info is on the Everton website. If you would like to listen to Darren and Snod's incredibly biased Everton commentary instead of TV commentary whilst you watch along, or if you're not watching on TV and want to keep up to date with the game, that is the way to do it. Me and Tony will be back at half-time as well with a little half-time analysis and a full-time breakdown as well. So even if you are watching on TV, come and watch me and Tony at half-time instead and at full-time. That is basically it from us. The players are basically ready. The light show and everything is going absolutely crazy. We're getting ready to do the fair play handshake. Fingers crossed for a